Happy Friday, welcome back to Drinking by Myself. My name is Emma and I literally turned on the camera and have forgotten what I was about to film. Okay, I've remembered. Today we are kicking off round 2 of the LoveHate book challenge. So this is a reading, vlogging challenge that I am doing with my booktube bestie, Emma Tobias. She looks like this. You should subscribe to her if you haven't already, which you probably have because she's great. The idea behind this challenge is that basically we have each given each other 2 book recommendations, 2 movie recommendations, and 2 song recommendations. But there is a twist. Only one of each of those pairs is actually a recommendation. One of them is something that we love, the other one is something that we hate. But we don't know which way round that goes. You with me so far? I'm bad at explaining. So I will put the link below to Emma's video where I have given her books, movies and songs that I hate, and you can watch her try and guess which ones are the ones I like, which ones are the ones that I really fucking do not enjoy. I look like an absolute vampire in this lighting, which is kind of appropriate because the theme of this LoveHate challenge is spooky themed. It's Halloween, we're vampires today. We did this last month and the theme was romance. And I think that Emma is now getting me back because I don't really read romance. So neither of the book recommendations that I gave her were romance books. So for this theme, we picked the Halloween appropriate theme of thrillers, but Emma has just confessed to me that neither of the books she suggested for me are actually thrillers. So now we're even on totally ignoring the genre rules. Okay, so Emma sent me 2 book challenges. The first book is Rivers of London by Aaronovitch, and that was fucking annoying of her because I just unhauled this book. In like a Balancing the Books unhaul very recently, I unhauled this one that I had bought and then never read and unhauled it, so like massive waste of money, and then she sets me this challenge, so I had to get it back. So I borrowed this from my friend, I'm not buying it again. And the other book I don't have yet, I need to source sometime this week, but that is Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. And I know that Emma bloody loves Nora Roberts, so I'm feeling like that's going to be the one that she loves. But then again, maybe it's a trick. Like, would that be too easy? Why would she set me a Nora Roberts one? Maybe it's one that she hates. Who knows? So those are the books. The movies I'm going to have to watch this week are Mission Impossible Fallout and Salt. And you know what? I don't know what either of those words mean. Okay, so Mission Impossible looks fucking boring. That is a Tom Cruise movie. I have never seen any of the Mission Impossible films. I fall asleep in action movies because they bore me. So hopefully that's the one she hates. The other movie she suggested is called Salt. CIA agent Evelyn Salt's life takes an ugly turn when she's accused of planning the assassination of the Russian president. Okay, sure. I mean, both of those are boring because I don't like action movies, but fine, I guess I'll watch those. And then finally, she has given me 2 songs. So the 2 songs are Apex Predator from Mean Girls and Whole Being Dead Thing from Beetlejuice the Musical. I've got no idea so far, so I will listen to those on repeat all week and make a judgment. So let's get cracking. We are starting tomorrow, which is Monday from where I am, and then we've got a whole week to get through all of the media that we have to consume. So I'm going to start with this one tomorrow morning, and I'll see you in a week. And it's been a week. I have now read 2 books, watched 2 movies, and listened to 2 songs on repeat that were all recommended to me by Emma Tobias, and I somehow have to guess now which ones she loved and which ones she hated, which is gonna be a very difficult task because I hated them all. That's not quite true. I didn't hate them all. You're now gonna watch my vlog footage and I'm gonna try and make my guesses, and I have got starring guest footage from Emma Tobias herself to tell me whether or not I get these right.
Hi Emma. Let's just dive in because this is becoming painful to film as this is my 55th try and it was painful to come up with these answers.
Lol, she's an idiot. So, starting with the songs. My feelings about them didn't start from a high point. Day 1 of listening to the songs, I hate them both. It did then get better though. One of these songs grew on me a lot over the course of the week. The other one did not at all. So, let's see which one was which.
Don't be fooled by the pink. She is not playing dolls. She is stalking the halls. She's the apex predator.
Hey folks, begging your pardon. Excuse me, sorry to barge in. Now let's skip the tears and start on the whole, you know, being dead thing.
Don't make me listen to this song again. Yeah, the whole being dead thing, I never want to listen to that song ever again. It was so boring. Apex Predator, I did get really into dancing around and lip syncing to, though I still probably will now never listen to it again. So what are my guesses? Which ones do I think Emma will like? It's so hard. I think the only guess I can make is that Emma felt the same as me and that she liked Apex Predator, because objectively that was the better song. The whole Being Dead thing felt like it should be a fun song. Like the very first time I listened to it, I was like, maybe this is going to be really fun. But the 7th time I listened to it, I wished that the house would fall down.
These are both movie to musical adaptations, and for that reason, I love and hate them. The one that I hate is Apex Predator for Mean Girls the Musical, because I hate Mean Girls the Musical. I think it's a Broadway production that feels intensely manufactured and takes the satire right out of Mean Girls, despite the fact Tina Fey wrote this musical, and makes it a satire of itself in it that it's so bad. It's just bad. I think it's boring. I think that it feels heartless. I think the performances, not all the performance, but I think a lot of the performances are really weak. I really don't like the songs. I think they're catchy while also being super boring, and that's how I feel about Apex Predator.
I love that. So I haven't seen Mean Girls the Musical. I was excited at the idea of seeing it one day if theatres ever open again, but lol, love that scathing review. So she hated that song, which means that she loved the other song. Emma!
Meanwhile, Beetlejuice the Musical feels really special. It feels like it captured the heart of the movie, which is a movie that scarred me as a child. Alex Brightman, who played Beetlejuice, did a really great job. I think the song The Whole Being Dead thing is super fun. There's a really great Tony performance of it that I really enjoy. I just think that there's like a joy to the Beetlejuice musical that you don't have with Mean Girls.
Oh boy, was I wrong. We didn't come up with any kind of punishment system for being wrong, so I'm just going to assume I have to drink. One down. Emma, we are in total disagreement on that one. Okay, next up, movies. So Emma made me watch Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Salt, which were 2 action movies. Arj and I watched them all in one day. We had like an action movie afternoon. I struggled. You will see in the following clips, I really struggled to know what was going on in either film. This kind of plot just like does not sit well with my brain. So again, neither of these films were my favourites. Would not watch either of them ever again. Before I give you my conclusion, let's play the vlog footage. Okay, we're settling in for our Sunday afternoon of action movies. We're watching Salt now, and then Mission Impossible Fallout. And look what I made. Those delicious looking things are vegetarian chili cheese fries. Should I make my funny joke again? Mm-hmm. I already recorded this once and it turned out I wasn't recording. But I told you guys last time that I love chili cheese fries, and that I decided about 7 years ago that if I ever wrote an autobiography, it would be called These Chili Cheese Fries Are Gonna Give Me the Shits, and Other Things I Wish I Knew 20 Minutes Ago, which I still think is the funniest joke anyone's ever said, really. But then I stopped eating chili cheese fries because I went vegetarian, but now I made a meat-free version.
Well, honestly, they're so good.
You can't tell?
No.
Meat eater approval. Okay, Angelina Jolie, show us what you got.
And cut.
This is a spider movie. Why
It's not a spider movie.
There's so many spiders.
There's one spider.
There's so many spiders. No, 3.
One that's actually been touched.
3 spiders in this spider movie.
No, she's the spider.
I just had to pause the film because I was getting so cross. I don't understand. I'm not going to say too much because you might want to watch this film. I don't want to give spoilers. But I wouldn't be able to give you spoilers because I don't understand. Is she a Russian spy? Is she an American spy? How is RG watching the same film as me and understanding what's happening when I have no idea? Literally, like, after every scene, I have to be like, what just happened in that scene? He's like, did you not just see the guy blow up? I'm like, I didn't realize.
Oh, that explosion. That's where the explosion came from.
I hate it.
I like that you could see an explosion and just be like, yep, that happened. Not where did the bomb come from?
I don't know. My brain doesn't do. I'm just like, okay.
Yes, you just
Carnage.
need to do some garbage keeping. And the things
Garbage keeping?
Yeah, the things you're watching, you know, try and assign them some value.
I
haven't always, actually. That's a lie.
Are
you trying to say something?
We watched Salt. I liked it. I went from being like super cross to just like, you know what, go with the flow. Twists and turns every scene. So don't even try and keep up, doesn't matter, because the next scene they'll be like, boom, it's something different. I enjoyed that. What fun. Next stop, Mission Impossible. Did you know, here's a fact.
No.
For you and you. Originally Salt was written with a male lead and Tom Cruise was going to play Salt. But then he didn't, and they rewrote it, and then it was a woman, and it was Angelina Jolie, but the next movie we're going to watch is Tom Cruise.
I'm happier when it's not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, me too. I'm not excited for Mission Impossible. Okay, we're back. It is nighttime now. I've got some wine. I've got some Toblerone. And we're gonna watch Mission fucking Impossible. Here's my predictions for how this movie is gonna go. Dun 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 dun. That is the right thing to do, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not James Bond.
I'm just not sure on the,
What's James
the
Bond?
notes. James Bond?
Dun,
Yeah, it starts off slow.
dun, 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 dun. That's the same thing I just sang at the same. I have a question. I've never seen any Mission Impossible movies. What is this about?
Was that a question?
Yes.
It is about Ethan Hunt and his team who work with the CIA
Great.
and familiar faces from the franchise
Don't just read the never.
as they race to save the world
What is
from
the
nuclear devastation. I don't know how to say it any better
So
than that.
they're spies.
Y-
What's the CIA?
Yeah.
They're spies.
Well, they're the foreign intelligence arm.
Is that all these movies are ever about? Why don't men get something
Spies.
interesting to tell stories about?
Spies, war, death,
Yeah.
love, sex, babies.
Babies.
Making babies.
Okay, let's do it.
Look at that, Simon Pegg. Peg away!
Bored, where's the song? Okay, pausing already. He just said two things that I know are iconic from the series. Your mission should you choose to accept it. And then this message will self-destruct. That's a thing it always does, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay,
That's a thing in spy movies in general. It's a trope.
but specifically this one. Maybe. Question though. His mission, should he choose to accept it? I wasn't listening. What was it?
To stop the terrorists.
The song's happening! I forgot to film! Look at the special effects on this intro! Someone learned how to use After Effects! Who are these people? What's the plutonium for? Who's this guy? Who's she? What are they doing now? Why? Why is Alec Baldwin here?
Is to recover that plutonium, and I will raise the
Which ones are the good guys? Which ones are the bad guys? Why are they shouting? Where are they fucking going now? Why isn't it over? Why is the wine gone? Just throw them both off. We don't want to watch anymore. First thing to say. Thank God that's over. What to say about that movie?
Nothing kind.
So as you can tell from that, Salt was definitely the winner for me. They both were super confusing, but Salt was fun. I wasn't bored while I was watching it, even though I was confused and a lot of the time like felt quite cross at how little I understood what was happening. I still enjoyed like quite how many twists and turns there were constantly. Whether or not I knew what they meant, it was still fun. I liked having a female main character. I thought Angelina Jolie was really good in this film. So yeah, it was engaging, it was fun, and it was also a good length. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. Dream. Whereas Mission Impossible Fallout was like 2.5 hours, and I'm gonna say that was 2 hours 15 minutes too long, to be honest. I'm gonna again assume that Emma agrees with me on this one, purely on the basis that Mission Impossible was terrible, and also that we both like women, strong women in the lead of movies. I think that Salt will have appealed to her more because it had a female main character. Maybe that's like super basic, but that's definitely one of the main reasons that it appealed to me. The only thing that's making me pause is that Mission Impossible was definitely like funny, rather it was supposed to be funny. I didn't find it very funny, but it did have some like fun side characters, like Simon Pegg being in there, which made some of the little scenes quite like funny and engaging, and possibly Emma would have preferred that one because it wasn't taking itself as seriously. However, I don't think that that's going to be the answer. So we're going with Salt as the favourite. Emma, don't let me down again.
So I chose Mission Impossible Fallout and Salt. The movie that I really enjoy is Mission Impossible Fallout, which surprised me because I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan in his Scientology ways, nor do I really care for the Mission Impossible series. I haven't seen most of them specifically, but I think this movie is really fun. I think it's really action-packed in a way that's enjoyable. It doesn't feel overtly violent. I mean, it's violent, but it doesn't feel like, this is so violent. And I also like the fact that it has a lot of nods to the original TV series from the 60s.
So I never saw that. I've never seen any Mission Impossible before.
Meanwhile, I think Salt is a super boring film. Despite the fact I wanted to love it, I was very bored the entire way, and I thought that the twist was boring, and I thought the entire experience was boring.
Oh my god, what is happening to the world? Wrong again. That is hilarious. How are we so misaligned on these? If you watched the last round of this that we did that was like romance related, I will link to it below. It was really fun. And we basically had the exact same opinion. In fact, we definitely did have the exact same opinion. We agreed on all of the ones that we loved and hated. And so far this round, I'm getting it all totally wrong. Okay, so finally we move on to books. I read Rivers of London and I read a book called Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. And I hated them both. I gave them both 1 star, I think. Possibly I gave Rivers of London 2 stars. As you will see from the vlog footage that I'll put in now, I like really badly seized up my back this week, and so I was in a lot of pain, which I think contributed to me being in quite a grumpy mood, and therefore I wasn't really enjoying anything that I was reading or doing, and I was also taking a lot of painkillers, which may have also been why I didn't know what was going on in the books. So I maybe didn't give them like the right atmosphere to love them, but also I don't think I ever would have loved them because I hated them. Let's see that in action. Okay, so it's Monday night. I am 38 pages in to Rivers of London. I'm not liking it so far, but that might be because I am so tired. I did not get enough sleep last night, and so I just feel resentful about reading anything at all. But that aside, I'm not enjoying it. It's written in a way that I think is supposed to be funny, and maybe it'd be funny if I wasn't in such a grouchy, tired mood, but I also have a suspicion just isn't very funny. So I know I'm wearing the exact same clothes, but I promise it is another day. I'm lying on the floor because my back is in so much pain today, so the grumpy mood that I'm in is not helping with the fact that I'm still not finding this book funny, and I want to find it funny. I think this author genuinely does have good intentions in making this book have a really diverse cast of characters, which is cool, but it doesn't seem like he's put a ton of effort into actually learning about the experiences of these people. It's almost like he's just thrown them in, and then the only reference you ever really get to their identity after that is in little cliches. So like, I don't think he has bad intentions, but it's a little frustrating. Also, I just realized I'm like halfway through. I don't actually know what's happening in this book. I am bored out of my mind. If it wasn't for this challenge, I would have DNF'd this book. Okay, I've just finished this one, and I'm not being funny. I have no idea what just happened. Literally, like, start to finish, I just read nearly 400 pages of this book, and I have got no clue what that plot was. Is my brain not working, or was this story complete nonsense? Here's hoping the Nora Roberts goes down a little better with me. I have been so shit with my timings this week. It is now Friday night. We're talking like coming up on midnight Friday, so it's basically Saturday. I haven't started this book yet, but I'm gonna get into bed any second now. I haven't even downloaded it. And download, what's it called? Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. Emma, this better be good. I'm bored already. I'll tell you one observation for free. Basically any book where they spell magic with a K at the end, it's just like a sign that I'm not interested in that book. Why do they spell it with a K at the end? Yeah, Google just says it's an archaic spelling of magic, and if you're like deliberately using an archaic spelling of magic, I think you're taking yourself too seriously. I still have a crazy bad back, so I'm in a very propped up position right now. RG's set the sofa up for me so that my neck doesn't have to move or hold itself. And I'm reading Dark Witch, and I'm hating it. Hating it. It's all about magic. Okay, so it turns out that all of that stuff set in like the 1200s was the prologue, and the rest of the book is going to be set in 2013, which is good because I didn't like reading about the 1200s, but we're like 12% of the way through this book. Like, couldn't you have jumped to present day a little earlier? Anyway, we've just done it. We're in County Mayo now in Ireland. I've been there. I don't know if it's just because I'm still grumpy because of the pain, but this book is like a special kind of bad. I'm back propped up again. This has been a full week now. Also, do I ever wear anything that isn't this jumper? No, I don't think I do. See, the thing about this book, it has like absolutely no pacing. It's got no like build up to the drama. I feel like I could get more invested if we met this girl before she knew she was the Dark Witch, and like knew that maybe there was some weird stories in her family she was coming to investigate, and then there was like a big reveal that would take place like a quarter of the way through or something. But no, like we literally launched in. She's like, hey, I'm a normal girl from 2013, but I do know I'm the Dark Witch. I've just come here to check. Yes, you are. Okay, cool. There's like no big reveal. And now I don't know what the plot is. It's just her and her cousins, who are all like part of the Dark Witch, are already talking about this like mega villain who's trying to kill them, who we met at the beginning in the 12th century bit, or the 13th century documentary bit. It's like already so high stakes and I haven't got invested yet and I don't care and I don't want to keep reading it. Oh my god. So the love interest is called Boyle, which is such a horrible name. I have a confession. I just skipped like 3 whole chapters. I skipped straight to the sex scene. Not actually on purpose. I just picked a random chapter and went for it, but pretty pleased with this timing. I am Iona. I am the Dark Witch. I don't care. Oh my god, so I just finished, finally. And it's a series, so it didn't even have like a proper ending. It was just a cliffhanger leading to the next book, which I'm never gonna read because god, that felt like, I know I've only been reading it for a few days, but that felt like years of my life sucked out of me. How on earth am I gonna choose which one of those I think Emma loved? Because they were both god awful. So from that, hard to pick a winner. I have quite a few factors going on. In fact, that's not true. I have exactly one factor going on in my head. So Emma loves Nora Roberts. I know this. You know, my first instinct is she loves Nora Roberts, so that must be the book that she loves. But then you think that would be ridiculous. It's obviously a bluff. The Nora Roberts must be the book that she hates. But is she double bluffing me? Or is she triple bluffing me? I've got no idea what's going on. I hated the Nora Roberts book the most, but that's because I really don't like fantasy and witches and that kind of thing, and I know that Emma really does, so it did feel like her kind of book. However, I just thought it was so terribly written. There was like no pacing, there was no fun character development. You were just thrown into a story that I didn't care about. I think that Emma might have liked Rivers of London because she likes London and it was funny, or again, at least it was trying to be funny, but as we now know, she thought Mission Impossible was funny, so she obviously can't be trusted. I've got literally no idea, and I'm getting a bit sweaty. I'm gonna say that Emma was quadruple bluffing me, and that Dark Witch by Nora Roberts is a book that she loved. Please don't get 3 out of 3 wrong.
Then finally, we have books. I had a lot of trouble with this, because when I really like a mystery or a thriller, I feel like I talk about it a lot. And when I really hate one, I feel like I talk a lot about it. So finding ones that you hadn't heard me talk about was a challenge. Which is why my answers for this are kind of weak. They're a little weak. So I chose The Dark Witch from Nora Roberts, and I chose Rivers of London by Ben Aaronovitch. The one that I really loved at the time, because it's been probably nearly a decade, is Rivers of London by Ben Aaronovitch. I read this as like a 19-year-old. It was after the first time I went to London. I really liked that it was set in London. I felt like I was back there. I really enjoyed the mystery. I enjoyed that it was humorous. I enjoyed that it was a little campy and silly, and I enjoyed all the ghost, supernatural aspects to it, which is probably the reason why you hated it. I don't know if it's problematic, so maybe it is. That will be fun to find out. But I remember really fun, meaning not fun. I remember it being really fun and enjoyable, and I liked it. Now, The Dark Witch I don't hate, because I don't ever hate a Nora Roberts book, but I was incredibly disappointed by it, so that led me to a level of anger that I don't normally feel about a Nora Roberts book. I think this book is so boring. I think it's really dry. I think it took this beautiful, interesting setting of Ireland and these witches and like this prophecy, which is something that she does in a lot of books, like prophecies and witches, and I think it's like the weakest version of that. And I was really disappointed by it, and I tried to reread this because I wanted to read the other books recently, and I was just like, this is so boring. For that reason, that was why I put it in my hate. It was probably like a 2.5 star rating for me, but for the disappointment factor, I put it as one of my least favorites. So there you go. Did you figure it out? I don't know. We'll find out.
And wrong again. That was shocking. 0 out of 3. I got 0 out of 3. Wow. I really did not see that coming. The books I was torn on. I could have gone either way. But the songs and the movies really came as a surprise to me. Oh boy. Well, I would say that was fun, but I don't think that it was fun because I basically hated everything that I read, watched, and listened to for that entire week of my life. But hopefully it was fun for you, seeing me in pain, both physically and mentally, and I can't believe I guessed none of those answers. Like, are we even friends anymore? I'm not sure. I will link below to Emma's version of this video where I gave her books, movies and songs, and I'm really nervous that she also is going to have hated everything that I liked. So click through to watch that video and see quite how differently our tastes go on literally everything. Like, how do we find anything to talk about? I don't know. And I will see you very soon in a new video. Here's my end screen.